Haplogroup H is a human mitochondrial DNA haplogroup. The clade is believed to have originated in Southwest Asia around 20,000–25,000 years ago. Mitochondrial haplogroup H is today predominantly found in Europe, and is believed to have evolved before the last glacial maximum. It first expanded in the northern Near East and southern Caucasus between 33,000 and 26,000 years ago, and later migrations from Iberia suggest it reached Europe before the last glacial maximum. The clade has also spread to Siberia and Inner Asia. Today, about 40% of all maternal lineages in Europe belong to haplogroup H. Origin: Haplogroup H is a descendant of haplogroup HV, the Cambridge reference sequence, which until recently was the human mitochondrial sequence to which all others were compared, belongs to haplogroup H2A2A1. Several independent studies conclude that haplogroup H probably evolved in West Asia c. 25,000 years ago. It was carried to Europe by migration c. 20–25,000 years ago, and spread with population of the southwest of the continent. Its arrival was roughly contemporary with the rise of the Gravettian culture, the spread of subclades H1, H3 and the sister haplogroup The reflect a second intra-European expansion from the Franco-Cantabrian region after the last glacial maximum, c. 13,000 years ago. In July 2008, ancient mtDNA from an individual called Palichi 23, whose remains were dated to 28,000 years ago and excavated from Palichi Cave, were found to be identical to the Cambridge reference sequence in HVR1. This once was believed to indicate haplogroup H, but researchers now recognize that CRS can also appear in U or HV. Haplogroup HV derives from the haplogroup R0, which in turn derives from haplogroup I, is a descendant of macrohaplogroup N like its sibling M, is a descendant of haplogroup L3. Haplogroup H has also been found among Iberomaurusian specimens dating from the Epipaleolithic at the Taforalt prehistoric site. Distribution: haplogroup H is the most common mtDNA clade in Europe. It is found in approximately 41% of native Europeans. The lineage is also common in North Africa and the Middle East. The majority of the European populations have an overall haplogroup H frequency of 40% to 50%. Frequencies decrease in the southeast of the continent. The clade reaches 20% in the Near East and Caucasus, 17% in Iran, and an LT 10% in the Persian Gulf, northern India and Central Asia. Undifferentiated haplogroup H has been found among Palestinians, Syrians, Druze, Iraqis, Somalis, Egyptians, Saudis, Sokoti, Nubians, and Yemenis. Subclades: among all these clades, the subhaplogroups H1 and H3 have been subject to a more detailed study and would be associated to the Magdalenian expansion from SW Europe c. 13,000 years ago. H1 encompasses an important fraction of Western European mtDNA lineages, reaching its local peak among contemporary Basques. It also occurs high frequencies elsewhere in Iberia as well as in the Maghreb. The haplogroup frequency is above 10% in many other parts of Europe, and above 5% in nearly all the continent. Its subclade H1b is most common in Eastern Europe and NW Siberia. So far, the highest frequency of H1 has been found among the Tuareg inhabiting the Fezzan region in Libya. The basal H1* haplogroup is found among the Tuareg inhabiting the Gossi area in Mali. H3 is found throughout the whole of Europe and in the Maghreb but does not exist in the Far East, and is believed to have originated among Mesolithic hunter-gatherers in southwestern Europe between 9,000 and 11,000 years ago. H3 represents the second largest fraction of the H genome after H1 and has a somewhat similar distribution, with peaks in Portugal, Spain, Scandinavia and Finland. It is common in Portugal, Sardinia, Galicia, the Basque Country, Ireland, Norway, Hungary and southwestern France. Studies have suggested haplogroup H3 is highly protective against AIDS progression. Example of H3 subgroups are H3A and H3 grams, found in northwest Europe, H3B and H3K, found in the British Isles and Catalonia, H3C, found in Western Europe, including among the Basques, H3H, found throughout Northern Europe, but was also found in Cerdic of Wessex, King of West Saxons. H3I found in Ireland and Scotland, H3J found in Italy, H3V found especially in Germanic countries, H3Z found in Atlantic Europe. The basal H3** haplogroup is found among the Tuareg inhabiting the Gossi area in Mali. H5 may have evolved in West Asia, where it is most frequent and diverse in the western Caucasus. However, its H5A subclade has a stronger representation in Europe, though at low levels. The H2, H6 and H8 haplogroups are somewhat common in Eastern Europe and the Caucasus. They may be the most common H subclades among Central Asians and have also been found in West Asia. H2A5 has been found in the Basque Country, Spain, and in Norway, Ireland and Slovakia. H6A1A is common among Ashkenazi Jews. These H4, H7 and H13 subhaplogroups are present in both Europe and West Asia. The H13 subclade is also found in the Caucasus. They are quite rare. H4 is often found in Iberia and along with H13 and H2 account for 42% of H lineages in Egypt. H11 is commonly found in Central Europe. H18 occurs on the Arabian Peninsula. These haplogroups are both found in the Caucasus region. H20 also appears at low levels in the Iberian Peninsula, Arabian Peninsula and Near East. These haplogroups are European, Near Eastern, tree. This phylogenetic tree of haplogroup H subclades is based on Build 16 of the phylotree, an internationally accepted standard. The full tree can be viewed at phylotree. Genetic traits. Haplogroup H was found as a possible increased risk factor for ischemic cardiomyopathy development. Popular culture. In his popular book The Seven Daughters of Eve, Brian Sykes named the originator of this mtDNA haplogroup Helena. Stephen Oppenheimer uses the very similar name Helena in his book The Origins of the British